Hello and welcome to the first in a series of tapas for the Viva event. So tapas is a Spanish word, in case you didn't know. It means appetizer, and that's exactly what we have. This is Team Viva in front of you. This is what Team Viva have decided to create, in the hope that we give you a sense of what's going to be happening actually at the event in November. So what we thought would be interesting, we might be completely wrong, but we thought it would be interesting for you is to find out a little bit about each one of us and why we've created this event, the three of us, and what our expectations are in some ways, whether we have any or not. So I'm going to kick off by just saying my name's Sheila Massand. I live in Spain, where the Viva event's is taking place, and I've been here for nearly 30 years now. And my current business is a coaching business, and an arm of that is events organising as well. And I've been running my coaching business for about 5 years, and at the moment I'm specialising in helping the helpers of the world to grow their businesses, to grow their practices. And while I've been doing that, obviously I'm hearing along the way about I was going to use the word suffering, but the burnout, the overwhelm, the lack of confidence, the frustration, those sorts of words come up over and over again when I'm talking to my clients. And once I came across an understanding about 5 years ago that really helped to point me to my own resilience, I felt I wanted to start sharing that with my clients, and I have been doing. And the three of us, Sue and Mark, who you're going to meet in a minute, we've been talking a lot. We've become really good friends, and we just felt that the time was right to create something on the ground here in Spain that's really going to serve the helpers of the world, those people who really love to help other people, whether it's in their professional life or whether it's in their personal life, and yet are suffering from burnout and overwhelm and stress and common complaints that come along with that. And so I'm going to hand over to Sue now, and she can tell you a little bit about herself and why Viva. Over to you, Sue.
Okay, so my name is Sue Pankovich. I'm also, I help people to uncover their own innate well-being. So I variously call myself a facilitator, trainer, educator. I've got a background in teaching, and throughout the years in teaching, I was very aware of how people who are in the most wonderful positions, working with young people, inspiring young people, doing what they were called to do, suffered. I mean, I will use that word because I felt that along the way there that people kind of lost sight of the profession, because the overwhelm and I think burnout was quite frequent. We often refer to it as under the umbrella of stress, and I think I've seen that in with my various clients, whether it's within a family context or whether it's a work situation, wherever people are in a role where they're helping others and supporting others. There has been traditionally, I think, a notion that you have to be so careful because you'll get overwhelmed, you'll get weighted down, that you get tired out, you lose that kind of sparkle that you go in with. And like Sheila and Mark, when I came across this, I'm going to call it an understanding, it's perhaps the easiest way to talk about it, this understanding. And I could see right from the beginning that the potential for freeing people up, but the impact first occurred in my own life, in pretty much every aspect of my own life. So as a mother, I regard that as a true helping role. It made a huge difference. My relationship with my children, who are adult now, but just transformed. My relationship with my husband, the wider family relationships at work. The word that I love to use is ease. There's a greater ease, there's a greater peace of mind, there's a greater feeling of being relaxed with who I am. And that's entirely down to learning something very, very simple about the way human beings work. It's true for all human beings. It's true for, I am a human being, it's true for me. So Viva is born out of a real desire to share this more widely. There's lots of people who have come into contact, have been exposed to this, who have taken it upon themselves to start their own business. So now we've been able to find this terrific team of speakers and presenters because we know what they can bring to this event. They're from a range of different countries, range of backgrounds, very talented in their ability to share with people what, as I said, what I referred to as this understanding of life. And we're very, very keen, all of us, to bring that to a wider audience. So we're hoping that if you're listening and you're a little bit curious, but you're not quite sure why you're curious, that's enough of a feeling, I would say to you, is to explore further. If you can be daring enough to just jump in and come along to this 3-day event, I can pretty much guarantee you're going to hear something that will have an effect on your life that will be very, very positive. So, Mark, before I carry on.
Okay. That was lovely. Thank you to you both. My name's Mark. I'm Sheila's partner. And well, Sue said something earlier on about this understanding has the potential for freeing people up. And excuse me, that's what I found very much when I was impacted by this understanding. It really was almost like shackles were dropped away that I didn't even realize were on me or holding me. And I think from the very first moment I was impacted, then I wanted to share with people this understanding along with Sheila. And I'm a yoga teacher in Spain, and I saw very much a lot of the relationships with the ancient wisdom that was also coming through this understanding that suddenly made sense. And that was really helpful to me along in my as a yoga teacher as well. And I'm just so passionate about helping people just get a grasp of what this is pointing toward, like Sue mentioned before, the potential to free people up. And I've seen it, and Sheila's seen it ourselves when we had, initially we didn't know how to start. Well, I didn't know how to start, and I wanted to hold meetup groups. And we're watching people who were caught up in day-to-day things, and then just suddenly they were dropping away and they found so much more freedom. And the Viva event, to me, it just seems to have a life of its own. We feel like we're the organisers to some respect, but it just seems to be taking off in its own direction. We just seem to be on board the ship in many ways. And I'm just looking forward to being part of this as it goes on and develops more and more. And also I'm looking forward to meeting new people who I'm sure are going to be impacted by this, especially the people helpers of the world, because the potential this has for helping not just the helpers, but then the clients or the people they're working with is just phenomenal. And I say that, excuse me, I don't say that lightly. I really mean it from my heart. I've seen it so many times where people have just, the jaws have dropped when they've grasped this understanding. So I'll shut up now. Back to Sheila.
Making the rounds. No. Well, I don't know that I've got a whole lot to add apart from we hope that we've been recording some interviews with our speakers. We've got a few in the bag, as they say, so far, and we just really want to be able to give you a taste of what's to come. And so we hope that you watch out for these YouTube videos that are going to be coming your way. The plan at the moment, the very loose plan, is to release one per day after you've watched this video. So just watch out for those, and we love your feedback. We'd love to hear from you. If you've got any questions about the event, if you've got any questions about what you hear about the speakers, then be in touch. We've got a page on Facebook, which I hope you've probably seen. You've probably found this on Facebook. We've got a page called Viva, on Facebook. And we've got an email address, info@the Viva event. And most importantly, we've got a lovely, lovely website called thevivaevent.com. So you may have found this here, you may not, but go ahead and visit there. You'll see the speakers that we've got. You'll get a taste of what it's all about. You'll see the accommodation, the location, and that's something we haven't mentioned. You know, Mark and I live here in Spain, and Albia, where the event's being held, is one of the great, I think, I was going to say selling points, but the advantage of being in our area in November is that the weather can be pretty nice. You know, we get 300 and odd days of sunshine a year, and so we can pretty much guarantee you will have bright days, sunny days, and even days that feel like an English summer, believe it or not, in the middle of November. So there's tons to do. It's we have an outside culture, if you like, living culture, people on pavement cafes and taking walks along the beachfront and just being outside. So we've set this event up that it gives you space to not only sit and listen to speakers and have group interactions, but to be outside enjoying the environment, living life. I mean, we've called it Viva for a reason. It's all about life. It's all about celebrating life and really living life to the full, and dropping that feeling and not having that feeling of overwhelm, burnout, exhaustion, stress, frustration, irritation, all that stuff that we hear from people. That won't just drop away for you while you're here at the Viva event. The idea is that you take this home with you, that you understand where that's coming from, so that when you get home, that won't exist for you nearly as much as it used to. That's what our hope is for you when you come to the Viva event. I don't know if you two have got anything to add to that.
I'll second what you've said.
Yes, and I'd like to say as well, one of the main goals that we all want for this is that it's going to be a fun. It's not fun and light. I've heard about people in the past who was on similar kind of gatherings, and they were almost like barbecuing on the beach after they've been having the conversations all day, and that's the kind of feel we want to bring to this. It's going to be just it's just going to be a great fun light event.
And really that points to, I think, the simplicity of this. This isn't something that you study and study and study and learn techniques. It's the opposite. It's and we built in that period of time, of course, between the end of the morning and the start of the early evening. There's a good few hours where people can relax. And what we do know is that when people quieten down, when their thinking slows down, when they're and that's why we wanted to enhance the prospect of that by having this lovely environment, we know that they're more receptive and more open to things. So the whole thing is so beautifully designed.
Do you reckon?
Oh, I do.
How did that happen?
It was just weeks of my life. So I think you rounded it up well, Sheila. So you've given everybody the place to look. And, we're having a really good time, and we're learning heaps as well as a team, and we're learning things technically, which
absolutely,
some of us are faster than others, of course.
And we have to remind ourselves to have fun.
Yes, indeed.
When we slip out of the feeling of enjoying this project, I mean, that's part of what we've learned, isn't it, with this understanding, is that pointing ourselves in the direction that we want to be living in, the feeling that we want to be living in. So, and it's about fun, it's about enjoyment, it's about celebration. That's what it's all about. So come join us at Viva.
Yes.
Viva.
Yeah.
14th to the 16th of November, 2015, in sunny Albia, Spain.
Yay.
Last word goes to Mark.
See you soon.
Bye.